Assalamualaikum. A very good morning to my lovely kids. Today we are back with our English class and the date is 2/3/2021 and the date is Tuesday. 3 means month of March. We have come to month of March now. Today we are going to start with a new lesson. A very beautiful story. A story of a little boy whose name was Christopher. Whose name was what? Christopher. Before we start reading the story, you all tell me, do you all like to play in the garden? Yes, we all like to play in the garden. Like us, even Christopher used to love to play in the garden. So he was usually there playing in the garden. One day his father was planning for a surprise for him. Do we get gifts from our fathers? Yes, we get gifts, isn't it? Our fathers gives us gift. So like us, even Christopher's father was planning for a surprise gift for him. He was going to give that gift to Christopher, and let's see what Christopher was going to do with that gift. Are you ready to see what the story is about? So let's read the chapter and see what is there. What is the top secret that Dad was planning for Christopher and what Christopher was going to do with it. The name of the chapter is Unit 15, Christopher's Bicycle. I will read out the lesson for y'all once. I will explain y'all and then we will read the lesson together. Okay? Christopher Nibble loved being in the garden. It was usually so peaceful, but not today. Behind the shed door, Mr. Nibble was working hard. Now it is said that Christopher Nibble, his full name was Christopher Nibble. He used to love to be in the garden. Usually he found very peaceful over there. But today it was not peaceful. Why? Because Mr. Nibble was working behind the door. Who was Mr. Nibble? Mr. Nibble was Christopher's dad. He was doing something top secret and Christopher wasn't allowed in. As I said, Mr. Nibble was doing something top secret and Christopher was not allowed in. By the end of the day, the top secret thing was ready. When the day was about to end, the secret was ready. It was a bicycle for Christopher. What was the top secret and surprise for Christopher? It was a bicycle. He thought it was the best bicycle in the whole of Dandyville. Means they lived in Dandyville, so Christopher thought it was the best bicycle in full Dandyville. It's a recycled bicycle, giggled his sister Poppy, and that gave Christopher an idea. Who was Poppy? She was Christopher's sister. So she giggled, means she laughed and she said it is a recycle bicycle. What does recycle means now? Recycle means by using all waste thing, one new thing is made. So Christopher's father had used waste things to make Christopher's bicycle. By hearing this, Christopher got an idea. What did he get? He got an idea. Early in the morning, Christopher pedaled off to Dandyville where he saw the lady from the library. She was throwing out yesterday's newspaper. Christopher asked if he could take them. What did Christopher do? Early in the morning, he started his bicycle. He was pedaling and he went to Dandyville and he saw that lady was throwing out newspapers. Yesterday's newspaper, जो हम बोलते हैं रद्दी. One lady was throwing out yesterday's newspaper. So what did Christopher do? Christopher asked that lady, "Can I get those?" "Please do," said Miss Borrow. What was her name? Miss Borrow. She said, "Please take it." Now in the picture you can see Mr. Nibble and Christopher's mother is there and Christopher and his sister is there, and there comes the bicycle. Can you see the beautiful bicycle Mr. Nibble had made? Yes, this was the bicycle for Christopher. After stopping at the bakery where Mrs. Chalks was throwing out yesterday's stale bread, Christopher asked Mr. Rosty if he had any empty coffee jars. After he took the newspaper, he went to the bakery where Mrs. Chalks was throwing out yesterday's stale bread she was throwing. He took those stale bread also. Christopher asked Mr. Rossity if he had any empty coffee jars. Whom he asked? Mr. Rossity. What did he ask? He wanted empty coffee jars. Then Christopher pedaled home very carefully. You can see Christopher took newspaper, empty coffee jar, stale bread in his bicycle, and he pedaled home very carefully. He was ready to recycle. As I said, recycle means using all the things which we don't use or waste to make new things. So this was all waste. Yesterday's newspaper, bread, stale bread, and the empty coffee jar. These were waste, and he was going to do something with it. He asked Posy from next door and Poppy if they wanted to help. He asked whom? He asked Posy, his friend who was staying next door, and Poppy was his sister, Christopher's sister. So he asked both of them if they could join him or wanted to help. After going home, what did Christopher do? Christopher asked Posy from the next door and Poppy if they wanted to help. Posy was a boy who was staying next door, and Poppy was Christopher's sister. He asked them if they wanted to help. While Christopher and Poppy found all sort of things in the shed that they might need. Christopher and Poppy, though, who were brother and sister, they went to the shed and found out all the things they might need. Posy searched online for recycling idea. Nowadays, we search online a lot. Yes, we get many ideas from there. So, even like us, how we search ideas from online, Posy started searching what they can do with all this waste. They turned yesterday's newspaper into some very beautiful handy bags. They turned with that newspaper, they made handbags. What did they make? Handbags. They shimmered the hard slices of stale bread with a little peanut butter and bird seeds to make hanging feeders, and they turned empty coffee jars into bright vases full of dandelions. Then they loaded Christopher's bicycle with recycled goodies and set off for Dandeville. What did they do? They turned yesterday's newspaper into handy bags. The hard slice which was stale, they put some little peanut butter and bird seed, and they to hang them and make feeders to the birds. Yes, and empty coffee jars, they made bright vases full of dandelions. Dandelions are flowers. What are they? Flowers. Then after doing this, then they loaded the Christopher bicycle with all these goodies and set off for Dandeville. Yes, can you see? They are making bright vases, feeders and handy bags. Yes, and then they put everything in Christopher's bicycle and they set off for Dandeville. This was the story. Now you all are going to read the story and try to understand so that you can write the question and answers given behind this story. Yes? Allah Hafiz. Thank you.